Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching episode 6 of House of the Dragon. I definitely needed time to decompress after that last episode. Game of Thrones wedding, it leaves a mark on you every time you experience one. And I had actually commented, I was like, why are all the weddings like this? And somebody had pointed out that like we didn't get to see the king marry Alicent, and I was like, oh, yeah, I could picture that being incredibly boring. Yeah, nothing happened there. Just regular wedding, right? Definitely when you're seeing a wedding on Game of Thrones, it's because shit's gonna go down. And boy did shit go down. And I didn't expect that out of Kristen. I it seemed to come from out of nowhere, and I don't want to say unprovoked, because the way that Joffrey was speaking to him, like it was already kind of poking at somebody who was ready to blow or was already experiencing a lot of sadness, probably already thought that his life was over. And I bet in that moment he felt that he had nothing to lose, but I don't really know what triggered it. Like there wasn't like a particular set of words or action that I think was used to really set him off. Kind of just being like, hey, we're in the same boat. We both like love these people, and we're gonna have to do our duties and keep secrets. And I don't know why Joffrey was the target necessarily. I mean, he is a smug guy. So like he probably wasn't the right guy to say that to somebody who was already miserably broken. But he paid with it for his life. And I don't expect Lenore to be and again, I don't know what happens in the next episode because I know we have time jumps, but Alicent kind of like stopping Kristen from killing himself. And I don't one know what she's gonna do, because she has the information of like what really everything is about, kind of with like between Kristen and Rhaenyra and the potion, the tea. Whether or not she drank it, I don't know. But if you get a beautiful brunette baby, it's probably not Lenore's. And so like now that like Alicent kind of is on her own and she doesn't have her father to really be the mouthpiece for her, the person working behind the scenes pushing her in this direction or that direction, she's kind of working on her own and doing the best she can to survive the situation. And I know they made a big deal about like her wearing the green dress, and everybody that was kind of at the table was wearing green, and then the king was wearing green, and I was like, does that really symbolize what they're saying it symbolizes? Is like she really like calling a banner to war, like in the mental sense? Like is she was she really making a statement? I feel like if we knew that information before she arrived, that moment probably would have been bigger. But then I was like, why is everyone staring at her? Like, she just interrupted the king. I was like, that's rude. But like I didn't really understand until she walked by, and Lionel Strongson says, like, the lighting of the tower and the color green and what it meant. And I was like, well, that information would have been great prior. So then like when she appeared, I would have been like, oh, this means war. But that's not really how it went down. So I was kind of like, they probably could have handled that a little bit better. Damon showing up was a nice surprise. Seeing him at the beginning killing his wife, what was her name? Raina? No, because there's Rhaenyra, there's Rhaenys, there's too many R names for me, and they're two RH something something. But him killing her and essentially now being the Lord of Runestone, I feel like, yeah, that accomplished something. He didn't have to try to consummate a marriage that one, obviously the other partner was not a willing participant. And she's a strong woman. Like she's very strong-headed, and I dug her personally, but like I could also see how that would not work. That whole scenario had disaster written all over it. So, him taking the matters into his own hands, and then, essentially telling, what was his name? Gerald, that he's just like, I'll be coming to take that off your hands. That's terrifying for Damon to say, because you know that like anytime he sees you, he could cut your throat. He could say something snide. He could just like let you live in fear. That's the thing with Damon is like I go through the roller coaster of like loving him, hating him, loving him, hating him, just kind of being like, okay, he's out of the picture. Oh, look, he's back. Like there's such a highs and lows when it's Damon. He's so erratic. And where I like that as a character because you don't know what to expect from him, I also don't like it because I want to like him and just sit in that. And I know that like that's not really great for characterization because like I really liked Rhaenyra at the beginning and then the past couple episodes I'm like really questioning her. And like she's a teenager in this. So, she's acting like a teenager. Damon's a grown man. Like, stop acting like a brat. Stop throwing temper tantrums. Stop trying to get like the approval of your brother all the time and then just doing something to ruin it. Like, so like to me, like I'm just like, whoa, the highs and the lows and the hots and the colds. It's sometimes really hard to swallow. Now, also at the end, they kind of did a rushed wedding with like rotting food and blood on the floor and rats eating flesh. And they got through that wedding, and neither one of the participants were happy about it. Like they were willing and they knew their duties and they were gonna do it, and like they were making the best of the situation that they could. And like Rhaenyra's fighting back tears. She looks like she's been through it. Laenor has like his bloody handkerchief that he's like kind of like holding on to because it's really the last thing that he has of Joffrey. And like she even goes to kiss him and he like turns away I can't, like like he just died, like. And I don't know if anyone else in the room understood that, but I know we all did. And then of course the king collapses at the end because his health has been very questionable since the beginning. I don't know if he's going to be alive in the next episode, if he's going to be incapacitated, if he could just be fine. He could have just been like, I'm exhausted. Every time I try to do this, like it never goes my way. Like I just wanted to have a royal wedding for my daughter. It felt like it was going to be a good time. There's a lot of friends, mostly family sitting up here because we're going to marry family. And it just went to complete shit. Now that Damon doesn't have a wife, I feel like he'll be on the prowl. He seemed to have a moment with Lena, but I think she's promised to somebody else. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I was like, there's some flirting there. Good for you, Damon. Definitely the the woman in the veil wasn't his flavor. It doesn't seem like sometimes a lot of the women that he's with is his flavor. So maybe that's his flavor. And I've heard that there's magic in like the Targaryens' blood that makes them kind of drawn to each other. Which, I this isn't real, so I'm not gonna like put my own stuff on it and just be like, oh no, you can't have cousins marrying cousins and brothers and sisters and all that. Like it's all the rules are out the window. No dragons. No, I mean we got dragons like the people with the banners that are dragons, but like a dragon would be lovely. I never get upset when I see them. I don't know if Otto is completely gone or if we will see him again. I'd imagine like he should be able to visit his grandchildren, but again, I don't know if that's like an Earth human kind of thing, if that's something that we allow to have happen in this universe or not. But where do we go from here is ultimately the question. Is the king okay? Is Rhaenyra queen? Are we doing a time jump to where Aegon is 20 and is fighting Rhaenyra for the crown? Like what should I expect is really what's in the back of my mind. So without any more speculation, let's get into it. Oh, it is the time jump. I just saw Olivia Cook and Darcy. What's her name? The Negroni Spagliato with prosecco in it. People. Okay, so I really liked the teenage actors. I don't know why I just got so emotional about the fact that they're not in it anymore, but okay. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not ready, but I'm ready. Not that the teenage actors aren't good. I mean, they're probably older than teenage, but like playing teenagers, but I'm ready for like these adult women to like kill it. Just like this music is like one of those like theme songs that's going to be ingrained in pop culture for like ever. Oh God, not another birth.
And push.
Ugh. I ain't never had a baby, and I've never had a desire to have a baby. I don't need the sound effects. I don't need ASMR. Blech. It's a lot of squishy noises. Oh, I was like, is it dead?
The Queen has requested that the child be brought to her immediately.
What the hell? Does she want to check who the father is? I don't know if I need to see that. It's funny, like all the gross stuff that I could possibly see, the cutting of an umbilical cord is a no for me.
Let me take him.
I shall get no such satisfaction from you.
Just take my arm at the least.
So they have a strained relationship.
Was it terribly painful?
Oh, God.
It's birthing a child through your body.
Princess?
So he's still around. Must be really hard for Lenore. Good grief. Of course the Queen's using him, probably.
You should be resting after your labours.
I have no doubt that you would prefer that, Your Grace.
I guess she did
What
just ask for the
happy
baby,
news
not
this morning.
Perenera.
Indeed, Your Grace.
He's alive!
Where is he?
Without an arm.
Does the babe have a name yet?
We haven't spoken.
Joffrey.
Oh,
He'll be called Joffrey.
It's an
wow.
unusual name for a Valerian.
I do hope the labour was easy.
I think I called the midwife.
Oh,
Me, if I'm giving birth.
You don't think to consult me before you name my child.
He's our child, is he not?
I mean, it's a discussion that probably should have been had already in the 9 months it took to make a baby, or to be pregnant.
Mother, look.
Oh wait, she has a lot of children and they are not his. Oh wow.
We'll escort the lads.
I thought the guy that was at the door was Sir
No,
Kristen.
thank you, Commander.
Is this Sir Kristen?
Sir Harwin wishes to be introduced to Joffrey.
Oh no, Harwin. Okay. I was so confused. So they're not Kristens, they're Harwins. Okay.
No. Back to the dragon pit for you two. Or they send out a search party.
The bloodlines at the beginning of the show mean so much. Hey, buddy. Why are you chained up? Is that how they have to keep dragons, though? Like, so they don't eat people? Oh, is somebody getting a dragon? I love him. Well, how dare you yawn? I guess, like, I would definitely not be acting like I've been there before. I would be gushing all over it and breaking out. Oh, are they gonna feed him? He looks like a raptor.
Can I say it?
Dracarys.
Dracarys Vermax.
Oh. Cool. Who's a baby flame?
You're the only one of us without a dragon.
Indeed.
Why?
So, we found one for you.
Oh, they're gonna play a prank on him. Ha ha ha.
Behold, the pink dread.
Why doesn't he have a dragon? Is the dragon pit calling to you? Are you okay, kiddo? You might want to move. What dragon was that? He's amazing. Terrifying, but amazing.
And 2 pairs of legs on each.
No, no, no.
That's 240.
Yuck. Ick. Ugh.
They said they found a dragon for me,
The last ring has no legs at all.
but it was a pig.
Okay, the daughter's weird. I dig weird, but she's really weird.
Your grandsons are a menace.
there are more children than he is. Are you sure it wasn't our Aegon that put them up to it?
Yeah, it was.
I had a black mare once. One day, she escaped her pasture, and the neighboring stallion sired a foal on her. The stallion was as silver as the moon on a winter's night, and the foal, when it was born, chestnut. Just the most unremarkable brown
He doesn't
horse
want to
you ever
believe it.
saw.
It's obvious.
Nature is a thing of mysterious works.
The silver stallion. How do you know it was him? Did you witness the act itself?
She's not wrong.
The Princess Rhaenyra is brazen and relentless. A spider who stings and sucks her prey dry. Spoiled. That was beneath me, Your Grace. I apologize.
Yeah, a little bit. But honest. Okay. Is this Aegon? Yep. Can't show any of that now, can we?
You are nearly a man grown. How is it that you can be so short-sighted?
Then I won't.
You are the challenge! You are the challenge, Aegon! Simply by living and breathing!
I like this version of Alicent. Good grief. Is this my boy? It's my boy! Oh, I just adore Caraxes. Is there a dragon above him? Did he also marry his cousin? Okay, I got my wish. I don't know why I'm getting teary-eyed, but like, I wanted dragons so badly, and now I got them. Beautiful, wonderful. Thank you.
Your aim is to marry one of our daughters, Your Excellence. You might have said so and spared us the history lesson.
What?
I love that Daemon has a family.
I wish to offer you
That
permanent
does not want
residency
anything to do
in
with that.
Pentos. The Triarchy has made common cause with Corem Martell of Dawn.
Martells. I like seeing Daemon as a dad. Especially to a daughter.
I want my child to be born where I was born, on Driftmark, in my Lord Father's castle. I want my daughters to be raised in their homeland with their family, according to their birthright.
Fair.
And at my end, I want to die a dragon rider's death, not that of some fat country lord.
Also fair. She's not going away. Oh, she is going away. Well, Daemon not getting into trouble's new.
You'll have a new opponent then, my Lord of the Straw. Let's see if you can touch me. You and your brother.
Oh. Cocky little bastards getting put in their place.
Seems the younger boys could do better with a bit of your attention, Sir Kristen.
You question my method of instruction, sir.
Oh boy.
Eldest son against eldest son.
It's hardly a fair match.
I know you've never seen true battle, sir, but when steel is drawn, a fair match isn't something anyone should expect.
Whoa. Strong words, Kristen. Oh, he's
Engage.
definitely... Jeez. Oh, lit the fire in him a little bit. Good grief.
Foul play. I'll deal with him.
I'm like nervous. I know they even have wood like swords, and I'm still nervous.
You!
Because Aegon seems like a prick.
This is what you teach, Cole. Cruelty. To the weaker opponent.
These two should probably fight right now.
Most men would only have that kind of devotion toward a cousin, or a brother, or a son.
Oh, Kristen. Yeah, you had it coming, boy. I can't believe I was crying for you last episode. You weasel.
Your intimacy with the Princess Rhaenyra is an offense that would mean exile and death. For you, for her, for the children.
Just rumor. Only. Spun by the princess's rivals.
People have eyes, boy.
Yeah.
The willful blindness of a father towards his child.
I wish my father affected a similar blindness.
Have I not? These many years. You publicly assaulted a knight of the King's Guard in the defense of your...
Yeah.
You have your honor. And I have mine.
I'm glad she heard that.
Are you in very much pain? Milk swells the breast.
Would you mind, Sir Carlo? I would like to speak with my husband.
Of course, Princess.
He's just living his best life.
War is afoot again in the Stepstones, Rhaenyra.
Why are you saying it with a smile?
Life from its alliance with Dawn. After all this time, this is just what I need. A little adventure.
Wow, he must be really bored.
And I have played my part here faithfully for 10 years.
It's been 10 years.
Very well, then I command you. As your princess and the heir to the throne, you are commanded to remain in King's Landing and at my side.
Wow. So when do those eggs hatch?
Half of them never do, you know.
Hmm.
He wants you and Father. And Baylor. Because you have dragons.
Aww. Imagine your worth being tied to whether or not you have a dragon.
Father ignores me.
He does?
He's doing his best.
I thought he was a good dad. That sucks.
Rhaenyra has delivered another son.
Does your brother mention if this one also bears a marked but entirely coincidental resemblance to the commander of the City Watch?
Reading accounts of the same dead dragon lords whose legacy you claim has no hold on you.
Didn't know I was being so minutely observed.
You do not sleep.
Well, how can I with you haunting my every move?
Oh, jeez.
This dispute bears looking into.
That is easy enough.
Ooh.
We've moved on to the Stepstones, Lord Beesbury.
And the Triarchy's new alliance with Dawn?
He should not be at that table.
My son, Jacaerys, will inherit the Iron Throne after me. I propose we betroth him to your daughter, Helena.
Oh. The weirdo? It's kind of mean. I really like her.
If Syrax brings forth another clutch of eggs, your son, Aemond, will have his choice of them. A symbol of our goodwill.
She's leaking.
Rhaenyra.
Being a woman sucks. It really does.
The king and I thank you for your offer, and we will consider it duly.
That took the wind right out of our sails.
She feels the earth washing away beneath her feet, and now she expects us to ignore her transgressions and for me to marry my only daughter to one of her plain-featured sons.
Oh, that was a nice way of putting that.
Let us put aside these childish quarrels. Join hands and be stronger for it.
You may do as you wish, husband. When I am cold in my grave.
Ooh. Like I said, I liked this Alicent a lot more. I mean, I liked Alicent before, but I like that she's not just taking it.
I have come to resign my position as Hand of the King.
Oh.
The
Not what I
episode in the
expected.
yard this morning, my son Howin has disgraced himself.
But he's been expelled from the City Watch. That seems punishment enough.
Forgive me, Your Grace, it is not.
He's trying to get rid of his son, so it's no longer a problem with Rhaenyra.
But there is a shadow over my house, and it grows ever darker. I can no longer serve you with integrity.
What is this shadow? Name it if it casts such a gloom.
You must have your reasoning in plain language.
I would then ask leave to take my son from court and escort him back to the family seat at Harrenhal.
Smart.
Do it.
Good. I'm so happy he read between the lines on that one. For the love of God.
You going to help me?
I took the liberty of beginning without you, Your Grace. It seemed a sin to let such a pie grow cold.
You had no such worry about the wine, surely.
Meat without wine is also a sin.
It is now that I most rue the absence of my own father. He wouldn't hesitate to speak the truth to the king if Otto Hightower was still at hand.
You cannot say, my queen, that your father would be impartial in this matter.
No, but he would be partial to me. In all of King's Landing, is there no one to take my side?
I think he's on your side.
What do you want with us?
I am prepared to offer you mercy. If you're prepared to pay a little price.
Oh, God. Oh. Oh, no. This dude's fucked up. He's so fucked up.
Must push!
I'm so worried about like any birth or wedding. Like it's just I didn't expect to get 2 births in like one episode either. It's a lot. One went well, which means the other one might not.
I've reached the limit of my art. The child will not come.
My brave girl.
They're not going to cut the baby out, please.
We could lay open the womb. Try to remove the infant by way of the blade.
Would the mother survive it?
No.
Yeah, can she have a say? Damon. What is she doing?
Venga! Dracarys! 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 Dracarys!
Oh, he's torn.
Lena!
Jesus. Jesus. I can't even concentrate on this right now.
Princess.
Oh, it's so rough. Secret love sucks. Yeah, now you're stuck with Laenor, kid. Sorry.
We will exchange letters by Raven. Won't that be fun?
Is Harlan strong with my father? Am I a bastard?
You are a Targaryen. That's all that matters.
We're finished here. We're leaving. I made a spectacle. They whisper about me in the corridor as well. I leave them to it.
Where are they gonna go? Driftmark?
To Dragonstone then?
I should have left years ago.
That takes a lot of things out of her control, yeah.
Bring him. We'll need every sword we can muster.
That was a kindness that she just extended. Yeah, I do worry about Alicent kind of going full Cersei. Maybe she wouldn't go full Cersei, but like definitely she will definitely have way more control without Rhaenyra being there. Haven't seen Harrenhal in a hot second. Oh. Yep. And they can't talk because they don't have a tongue. What's going on? He really killed his own brother? What a fucking snake. And he seems to be around the king and queen's daughter because of the bugs.
You will persist forever in some form or another, as if they will keep you from the dust.
Wow.
Love is a downfall.
I was happy for Damon. That's fleeting.
You pass judgment.
The Queen makes a wish. What servant of the realm would not strive to fulfill it?
She didn't ask for that.
I feel certain you will reward me.
God, this guy.
When the time is right.
Psychopath. So, wow. A lot has happened in 10 years. Babies were born. I was like, it's quite a time jump then to just have one child. No, it was her third child. Uh, with Sir Harwin. I was like, oh no, maybe after Alicent saved Kristen or stopped Kristen, that like maybe, you know, they were able to continue on with their love affair. He hates her. Kristen hates Rhaenyra. And I guess a broken heart will do that. He seems very loyal to Alicent. And Alicent has definitely changed. She has not only grown a backbone, but she uses her voice. She makes facial expressions to kind of just admonish the princess at meetings. I like it because I don't like somebody being demure and just taking it, but ooh, that could also be trouble if it gets out of hand. And now with Rhaenyra not being in King's Landing, I could definitely see that being the case. But also with Larys doing what he did, I felt really bad for him when he like walked up to the ladies and like wanted to sit with them. And knowing that he was like crippled and that he couldn't go on the hunt. And then in the last episode, I was like, well, isn't he meddlesome? And I was like, why would he want to meddle so much with his father being hand to the king? That seems like something that he would want for his father. And I don't know if it had anything to do with his father being hand and with his brother being with Rhaenyra, or if he has a deep love for Alicent, because it seems like what he heard was, I need these people dead. I don't care what they mean. He didn't care what it meant to him, like that his brother and his father. I mean, now he's probably Lord of Harrenhal, unless there's another brother floating around somewhere. But it seems that like he did it out of a loyalty and a love to Alicent. That ain't the kind of love you want. That ain't the kind of loyalty you want. I mean, you don't want somebody to have that loyalty for your enemy and it come back to hurt you. But damn. So we got 2 births this episode. Rhaenyra giving birth to Joffrey, which I was like, they don't discuss names before they're born. It seems like it shouldn't be a surprise, unless you just don't know. But I feel like he just kind of was like, Joffrey. Okay. Very much that they're Sir Harwin's children, and the relationship that he has with those children. You know, even Jace at the end is just like, is Sir Harwin my father? Am I really a bastard? And that's a really harsh realization for a child to come to. And I feel like that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back for Rhaenyra. Like, we need to get out of here, because if the children are starting to realize that, you know, children don't keep their mouths shut, and she's not getting anywhere by, you know, offering Jace to marry the one daughter of the king and queen who is playing with bugs. And I was like, what a weirdo. And like, only because I don't like bugs. Like, I don't think people who like bugs are weird by any means. It's just weird to me because, but the fact that also Larys has the little beetle, the little pin, I would hope that he isn't spending too much time with her and influencing her, because she was talking, the way that she was speaking was very weird, and he's very weird. And I would hate for him to be such a heavy influence on her. He definitely kind of, not that even it's the same way of acting, but the meddlesomeness and the forethought of like playing the long game, that if that's not a Peter Baelish kind of vibe, I don't know what it is. Wow. And the other birth that we're getting, God, is Lena. And I was so happy for Damon, because I was like, oh, he actually made children with a woman. So like he found somebody that like he, could do that with. And they had a vibe at the wedding. So like definitely I was like, yay. And they seem happy. They're like living a life of luxury and like, going to the countryside. And like it seemed like a very nice place to be. And I don't blame Damon for wanting to be there instead of the political world in King's Landing that he has no say in otherwise. But the fact that two brothers were faced with the same situation, and you saw Emma struggling to give birth, and Viserys struggling to make that decision, but ultimately does. And then you see Damon kind of not really even caring that that's the situation, and not wanting to even be like, yeah, like, oh, I'm so heartbroken over Lena, and like, I want my child to be born, because it could have been a son. Her taking the power in her own hands and ending her own life that way was startling. But as she said, like she wanted to die a dragon rider's death. And I know that's not probably how a dragon rider would prefer to die, but through dragon fire, I think is so poetic. Man, I'll tell you that like Damon, he picks strong women, whether it is the, I forget her name, but like the whore, or it is Rhaenyra, or I mean, I know he didn't pick the woman in the veil, his lady wife in the veil, but she was strong and fierce. And then here's Lena being the same way. These women are drawn to him. And it was nice seeing him like, kind of like doing like homework, it felt like, with his daughter, and the other daughter feeling like she's like doesn't get any attention from him. And I wonder what that's about. I don't know if it's kind of an influence of being like the second son, and that the first child is the one that you have to invest all of your time and energy in because they could possibly be super important one day. And then him being a second son, that he's kind of treating a second daughter the same way. You'd think that going through that, he would be like, no, I don't ever want my children to feel that. But then that's rational. And why would I want Damon to think rationally? It's his way. It is kind of nice to see him not being broody and to be thoughtful. There's so many different sides to Damon. But again, you have this up and down, up and down, up and down feeling that I have for him. Now, Rhaenyra, I was kind of like, God, I really don't like the position she put herself in. And I do like the position she put herself in at the end of this episode by leaving King's Landing. Like when she's talking to her son and he's asking her about like, is Sir Harwin my father? I noticed a bunch of furniture in the background. It's like they've banished her to like the crap wing of the castle. And like she's being treated, I would say, less than desirable for a princess who's going to inherit a throne, if she does, right? Because like the conversation that Alicent has with Aegon, Aegon is a spoiled brat. He's horrible. There was more of that scene that I just did not need to see. I don't need to see young boys engaging in such behavior. It's not entertaining. I don't know if it needed to be so visual. Yeah, and for her to catch him, how embarrassing for him. But he doesn't seem to understand the position that he's in, and he's acting like this childish brat. So he's not even really being brought up to be a king. And I don't know if that is partly Viserys's fault because he still believes Rhaenyra to be the heir, and like that's how it's going to play out, and we don't have to worry about Aegon being a king. The way Aegon treats his cousin, I always have a soft place in my heart for like a softer, more gentle child. I just always have, I always will. And that was heartbreaking with the pig. Actually, that he did that to his brother, not to his cousin. But his cousin's even being involved in it, and then, like, cool that they have a dragon. And I feel really bad. I think was his name Aemon? Yeah, I feel really bad for him. I messed that one up. What do you know? Me screwing up characters or character names. Yeah, we saw 2 deaths by fire, 2 births. There was a lot that happened in this episode. The fact that you see Alicent talking to Kristen Cole about Rhaenyra and just how bitter he is about everything, which he really should be. But the fact that he was able to kill Joffrey and then still be, part of the King's Guard, like that was a very public display. So Alicent fought for him to be part of the King's Guard and to be her protector. And the fact that like you see Laenor have to walk past him to get to the queen at the very beginning. I was like, Jesus, that's uncomfortable. And there's too many people with long hair and beards. They all look alike. They really do. Like Laenor stuck out like a sore thumb, knew exactly who he was, but then I was like, wait, was that? Who's that? What's that? What's that? Especially with the time jump. You don't know who's gonna change faces. And I will say that the casting for both Rhaenyra and Alicent, flawless, like seamless. Like you can see how they found a younger version and a great actress to play this older version who is also a great actress. Like it's wild. What a seamless transition. Even though like we grown attached to the other actresses, then you have these actresses that come in and it's just like, yeah, no, that's Rhaenyra. That's Alicent. No problem. It's quite beautiful. I wanted dragons. We got a lot of dragons. We got a baby dragon. We got adult dragons flying around. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, look, they're in love. But there was trouble in paradise. And the dragon to serve mercy at the end. Like there's so much beauty and poetry and all of that. And a lot of death and destruction. Like the parallels between everything. It's a lot. This show is very creative and surprising. Now, the questions going into the next episode is, from Dragonstone, what is Rhaenyra able to do? She has a little bit more freedom just to be her. And I wonder what's going to happen when she learns about Sir Harwin. I mean, that's really interesting that Sir Harwin and Lena both died by fire in this episode. Both Daemon and Rhaenyra's, I don't want to say loves or lovers, but like the people in which they were attached to. I'm sure she'll be upset. I'm sure she'll want revenge. I think Larys, he's got an expiration date on him, and he might be able to survive a lot, but I don't know. I feel like, especially with Alicent's reaction to it and her guilt and like her like kind of like disbelief, I don't know if she'll see that as a loyalty and like, okay, like it's despicable, it's disgusting. He killed his own family and he did it for loyalty for me. Or if she'll just be like, I'm going to have to sleep with one eye open. I'm not sure. I don't know this Alicent. Even though I really like the direction that the character took, I don't know how she will handle this moving forward. He wants her to call her father. I don't know if I don't know if Otto just gets to be like, well, since how the other guy didn't work out, I'm back. Like, here's my resume. I've been hand to the king before. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I feel like her having her father back in the king's ear and having him kind of behind her will give her like more strength to really like push her agenda. I think the king will feel comfortable having Otto around. There's a lot that could happen just by having Otto around. And I don't really like Otto being meddlesome. I think he's way better than Larys. But I like Otto as a character, and especially how loyal he is to his daughter. And I wonder too if he can kind of make a better man out of Aegon, because as of right now, I'm not impressed by the future possible king. You know, if the king does die and Rhaenyra becomes queen, I really fear for Alicent, and I fear for those boys. Wow, there's so many chess pieces. There's so many bloodlines that have been crisscrossed. There's a lot happening. A lot. I love it. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. The whole Game of Thrones and the whole moving of the chess pieces and everyone playing their part and you know, playing the trump card. If you play euchre, if you don't understand that reference. It's a beautiful thing when you can throw that down. But definitely interesting to see where the kids go to, you know, like the one Targaryen without a dragon, and then you have the the strong / Targaryen kids that do have dragons. I wonder if we get to see those dragons grow and become greater, better, bigger, badder. But then there was the dragon that was in the cavern, and I was like, I don't know whose dragon that is, and I don't know what that's about, but like, I feel like if that kid could master that dragon, that would be interesting. He seems like such a tender heart and very afraid of that dragon, but I feel like they didn't show us that for nothing. Okay, guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon, as well to one episode early, and other full-length reactions to other shows that I am watching, like The Expanse, Vox Machina, Wednesday. Lots of goodies in there. A lot of stuff that seemed very magical. I mean, except for The Expanse, but that's magical in its own way. But other than that, like, subscribe, leave me a comment down below. How does the time jump feel for you? I feel like it's kind of seamless. I don't mind it. It took me a minute to figure everything out. And then like, okay, which actors changed? It just seemed to be like the four youngins, the two Valerians, and then Alicent and Rhaenyra. Kristen Cole's still the same, so we still got that beautiful head of hair to stare at. Even though I'm very upset that I cried over him last episode. How dare he do that to me? But yeah, what do you guys think of the new Alicent? I personally dig her, but I feel like when I say that about a character, I'm going to regret it in a couple episodes. So, but you know, I don't know what Damon's gonna do now that his wife's dead, and I don't know if he's gonna be a good father to his children, if he is going to head back to King's Landing, I don't know what he's gonna do now. Yikes. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one.